Not to be the bearer of bad news, but the last episode of season 2 of Mashle, it does indeed confirm how Mash is gonna die. It's not gonna be from Innocent Zero, unless Innocent Zero does this, but I legitimately think we just saw the most broken version of Mash we've ever seen out of 24 episodes. We see him get fried, we see him get shooketh, but the rapid succession of seeing his character model almost look like it was in 10 different anime styles. He was so fried by just studying that legitimately, if you put him in a situation where he's convinced he has to take a test, that could actually kill him. I'm not even joking. I legitimately think had they continued another day or two of whatever training that was happening with him not making progress, I think he would have went into cardiac arrest. And honestly, that's kind of hilarious that the only thing that might actually be able to stump the One Punch Man of Hogwarts is a freaking written exam. I'm gonna miss this show. I have full live reactions to all these wonderful episodes of Season 2 over on my Patreon. If you want my full uncut thoughts, they're over there if you're interested. This was good. It started weird because we had octopus parasites and watermelon, and I'm like, I get we're in magical Hogwarts, but what's going on here is what it is. But we do get a very good progression, and that is, we ended last episode with Mash actually being cheered on by the student body there, being like, you know what, he may not be magical, but he's protecting us, and they cheered him on. But here's the thing, what about the general public? Hell, the school itself still might not have trusted Mash even after all that. Add in a bunch of scared racist people, I mean, they're saying we need to kill this non-magic user. And I'll be honest, Dot threw me for a loop. Lemon did what I expected. She's, the love interest, and she's convinced that they're married, so of course, it went about as hostile as you expect. But Dot came up there being like, my client, and he's professional. He's like, listen, here's all this professional. And I'm like, as I'm literally saying, I think he's actually got this down, he gives him the middle finger saying, I'm gonna kill you all. And I'm like, who let Dot cook? Like, what do you do in this situation? The whole time I'm like, where the hell is Wahlberg? And then in comes Mash, protects his girl, throws the canister of prison back on the fool with a face not even a mother could love. And then Wahlberg comes in and says, chill guys. Just let him take the exam, that will determine everything. Mash has a long way to go, but you can't deny he made some serious progress. We went from a boy who pretended that his muscle magic allowed him to fly a broomstick, to being honest that he doesn't have magic, but he's gonna prove that magic isn't what makes someone special, and that whatever BS religion you're believing in, that's saying you're not chosen by God, so therefore you're corrupt and should be purged, is not the way. They actually are doing a really interesting thing with a series that is as funny as this. If my memory serves me, I think the Mashle manga is over, so I don't know exactly how many more seasons or episodes we'd need. I think I remember someone telling me that 4 cores would probably be enough to do the story, if I'm not mistaken. All I know is that even though they haven't announced Season 3 is pretty much all but a given, because I think it was either earlier today or yesterday, I saw a post saying that there's like 10 million copies of the manga in circulation as of 18 released volumes or something like that. This is a very popular series. It may not be as talked about in the West as something like a Soul Leveling or even a Dangers in My Heart, but Mashle is popular. And I really thank the fact that this is a popular series, because whether it's something like a Golden Kamuy, which you try to talk to an English-speaking person about Golden Kamuy, they're probably like, what the hell's Golden Kamuy? Mashle didn't suffer that much of discredit, but it's still not nearly as popular as I think it deserves to be. But at the very least, it's profitable enough very clearly that we're probably getting a full adaptation. For a final episode, I didn't really have much expectations. I was just kind of hoping that maybe we'd see something on like the student side, how they're feeling about Mash, and instead they redirected it with just the general population trying to burn him at the stake. And they did what Mashle is great at, using comedy as the initial hook, but then actually using really clever emotional writing to sucker punch us in. And honestly, Mash's speech was really, really good, and Wahlberg popping up as he did was great to see. I'm very happy that Wahlberg is still armless and still has half of his body covered in the scar. We're in a magical world. I have no idea what they can do with magic, so the fact that they actually kept him you know, he's armless and also the scar on his face just looks cool. I appreciate that there's actually stakes that last. And as he says, they're shit out of luck. The only hope they have is Mash, because he is such a... Mash kind of reminds me of a lot of superheroes. There's a lot of superheroes who will charge into the face that they should die, but they have such heroic natures about them, and they believe in justice so hard that it does let them power through. It's like, if you tell a mother that if she doesn't try to do this to save her kid, even knowing that she has an almost 100% chance at dying, the mother's still going to rush in there saying that she can save her kid. And that can give you the boost in order to succeed when most people would fail. And I think that's where a lot of good stories with superheroes come in, and a story like Mashle is doing a very similar thing. Mash probably has no chance in hell, realistically, if you run 1,000 simulations. In one of those simulations, he probably beats Innocent Zero, and that's probably going to be the story we're currently watching. But it is a hopeless situation, but his pure, raw, brilliant attitude is the big thing that's going to be a wild card. Wahlberg, one of our strongest characters that we have magical-wise, is probably the same level as one out of the 5 that work for Innocent Zero, who are like his right-hand men. Innocent Zero is the strongest magic user in existence. That's not good. Like, that's not good at all. And had Innocent Zero not been going haywire because of his new awakened body kind of going against him, Wahlberg would be dead. Mash potentially would have been dead. Mash still has a long way to go to be able to beat Innocent Zero. I believe he can, but that's a story for another day. I definitely think I've been one of the more positive voices in terms of the English side of YouTube talking about Mashle, and that's because I legitimately enjoy it. It's a passion for me. It's something like a To Your Eternity. It may not really get the viewership that I think it deserves to get. Honestly, some of the videos that do better than Mashle on my channel, I'm like, I honestly think Mashle deserves way more views, and some of these other shows I talk about deserve less. But it is what it is. That's how the internet is. They flock to what they flock to. All I can say is I love it, and I will do my best to talk about Season 3 when it comes out, because I freaking love this show. It is so good. The sidecast is actually developed into something more than just tropes and memes. It actually feels like a genuine family, and I think it was in this core when there was a moment when we saw them like getting ice cream or something, and just like reflecting on just how far MASH has come with actually having friends. It's really sweet. It's hilarious, but it's actually really sweet, and the story is surprisingly great. But let me know what you thought of either the final episode, what do you hope to see with Season 3, and maybe just the show as a whole. Let me know down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course ring that bell so you can get notified when I upload more, and like I mentioned, we have a full live reaction to all these wonderful episodes over on my Patreon. Hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. So today we got Hunter de Lupin, George, and we also have Zeno, so I appreciate the support everyone. Please take care, have a good one.